Okay, I figured out my key to success, now I'm locked in. I learned how to open doors like a locksmith. I'm uptown, I'm the one they wanna shop with. Run off with the bag even though we don't shoplift. All that gun talk y'all want, I'm not with. It's not cool, everybody got them long clips. You gon' mess around and get one of your dogs hit. And when you do, I hope you know you're not John Wick.
Welcome back. You're now locked in with DK and Atwood. I'm Atwood, killer to my left, DK. Took a week off last week. That was my fault. I was sick as fuck.
Sick ass.
I mean, I was, dude, bad. Like bedridden for 4 days straight. It was bad.
We think what it was?
I think it might have been like the flu that turned into like maybe pneumonia. Because my lungs still aren't.
No way.
Yeah, it was bad.
That was right after Atlantic City, huh?
Yep. And it was weird because we got back from Atlantic City, Saturday? I felt fine Sunday. I was here training on Monday, felt fine. But I remember the moment I felt it Monday night. And it was just downhill from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started feeling it on Sunday.
Did you?
Yeah. My sinuses were, I think when we were there, I was like, my sinuses are jacked up, man. And that was mainly, I was thinking it was because from cigarette smoking. Remember when we went in that damn one bar and they had,
you were like, dude, I can't do it.
I can't do it, man. So we were at Tropicana a couple weeks ago for Austin's fight, which we'll talk about a little bit. And then, we're Tropicana in Atlantic City. And, man, they had this bar down there. It's like a cigar bar. And smoking, you can smoke too. So people were smoking cigarettes and everything. And I remember us like walking in and I was like, oh, man. We were all trying to get a drink at this bar, man. But, we walked in. We didn't know it was a cigar bar.
Yeah, it was bad.
Or something like that. Yeah, it was really bad. There we go.
But I thought, because I talked to Britton, and Britton said he wasn't feeling good either. So I was like, all right, well, we might have just picked it up, like in the airport.
Well, Grayson was fucking sick, man.
He was sick while we were there.
Yeah.
And I was sick. I won't say I was sick, but maybe it's just sinuses or whatever. But I wasn't feeling that great a couple of days leading up to it. But I felt fine while I was there.
Wow.
Because I was just over.
Yeah, we had 5 of us in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Britton was sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, dude. It was a fun trip.
Yeah, that was a good trip, man.
I just felt so bad.
And speaking of that trip, Austin fought that night.
Mm-hmm.
And what day was that? March 2nd.
First.
It
was a Friday.
It's a Friday, dummy. Yeah. So he fought on a Friday night at Ring of Combat 83, which is a big, and we had the embedded that I think, that you dropped. A
lot of UFC fighters have fought in Ring of Combat.
A lot of UFC fighters.
Sean Brady, obviously Joe Selecki. Raging Ally Quinta was one of the commentators. All of them have fought there, too.
You had Nick Catone was there.
Yep,
Actually, Austin fought a guy from Nick Catone's gym and knocked him out. So if you guys haven't had a chance to watch our embedded from a couple weeks ago, make sure you guys check that out. I always used to, when I was up and coming fighter, like when I was early in my pro days, because I was like an amateur for like 8 months, so early on in my pro days, I used to watch a lot of videos from guys that weren't known yet or weren't discovered and try to see how they're doing things and see what they're doing in life. But yeah, Austin went out there and, Austin coming off a 2-fight skid.
Yeah.
This kid that he fought was coming off a 1-fight loss. And so Austin was 3-3. This kid was 2-2. And this kid's in his hometown, or not hometown, Atlantic City, but home state of New Jersey. So he had a good crowd there. And
it was a pretty that showroom was packed.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Yeah. It was
a lot
packed,
of people there for
well,
the guy that Austin was fighting.
Yep.
They were all sitting around those two.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
there's footage that I had because I couldn't take my camera in there, so I had my phone, right?
Yeah.
And there was footage I had of Britton when Austin won, and
he like jumped or something like that.
Yeah, dude, he jumped. Dude, he jumped down like 3 levels on the bleachers. It was like jumping up and down, like right beside these girls who were just like, no. That their boy just got knocked out.
Man.
I was gonna put that in. But I forgot until just now.
Okay.
So it's too late. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, that was a good trip, man. That was a fun trip for just all the way around,
Yep.
And to knock that kid out in 1 minute and 6 seconds was really nice. But
Yeah. I mean, it was good. Obviously it's the best thing that could have happened for Austin, and it was good to see, like, after that happened, you could just tell, like, when you guys were waiting to walk back, go back.
How
backstage.
happy he was.
Oh,
yeah.
man. Like he looked at me. He's like, you see how I pulled the fucking trigger? And I was like, yeah. I was like, dude, like,
I didn't say you wasn't going to.
Yeah, no. It's like, well, I think because
it's to him. We were talking about,
we were talking about like Jim O and stuff, and he was just said at Jim O, like, he was just hesitating.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, man, like, I'm not a fighter, right? So take my shit with a grain of salt, but you can't hit him if you don't
do anything.
Punch.
Yeah, you gotta throw. Man.
And man, he let it fly, dude.
Bang that.
And it was cool to when you watch it, the commentators outraged. Now I was talking
They were
about,
like,
he's like, it looks like he's trying to set up this left hook, and 10 seconds later, bam, just did him. The guy was stoned. So yeah, great experience with that, man. Just a great trip overall, bonding experience.
Yeah,
for
and
everyone.
with his braids and everything, we were down in the thing or whatever, and the matchmaker, I know the matchmaker, he used to, his company, Dead Serious Fight Gear, they sponsored me for all my fights in Atlantic City, like all my fights. So I have 5 fights in Atlantic City, 2 in Bellator. So they used to sponsor me. Now that guy, fast forward, he has his own promotion, and he's the matchmaker for Ring Combat. So it's like we have a really good bond, And so he was in the back talking to us, and he was like, Austin had the braids and everything, and had the pink in it and stuff. And he was talking about Sean O'Malley and everything, and he was like, dude, he's like, that dude's making a shit ton of money. So do what you got to do, It's like if that's who you want to be like, mimic him. And dude, Sean O'Malley just stamped it this past weekend. Yeah. Put the stamp on the thing.
Sure did, man. I mean, that was like it was a beating. It was a beating.
5-round beating. I didn't think it was going to go 5 rounds though.
I didn't either. I didn't really know which way to call that, because in the first fight, like, Sean was doing well until the whole perennial nerve thing or whatever happened. But it happened so quick, it's kind of hard to tell how that fight plays out, But he did a very good job of making Cheeto play his game, dude. And Cheeto got him with one solid shot, and it was at the very end of the fifth round with that body shot. Yeah. Now, had that happened in the first round, different. Second round, third round, even fourth round.
Could have been different, but
completely different.
But it also could have been different because, early on in the rounds, it could have been not as effective.
Right. But and then again, like, that was a hefty liver shot, man. Yeah. And I've never been hit with a liver shot, but I've seen people that get hit with them. It
shuts the body down.
Yeah, and you could tell when he got hit, Sean dipped a little bit, but he also knew there was 10 seconds left when it happened. But it was a great fight. Sean came out in the pink too,
which was crazy because that was after
right after Austin in the pink. So that was a cool experience, man. Well, obviously Atlantic City, and getting to watch 299 because it was a great card, I thought.
I can't believe they're already about to do UFC 300, bro. I remember UFC 100. I remember watching UFC 60, watching UFC 32, watching 33.
I remember 200. I think they had like the yellow canvas or something like that.
Man, I remember UFC 88. If you guys get a chance, go back to UFC 88 and watch Kurt Pellegrino versus I can't remember that guy's name. Renato Tavares. Renato Tavares. I'm pretty sure that's that kid's name. My coach, that was before he was my coach too. It was UFC 88.
He had the blonde hair then?
I want to say he did. But yeah, they fought, and you talk about a fucking fight, dude. He bloodied Hanato the first round, like knocked him down, rocked him in. Hanato, if you look at this, is before USADA too, so you can tell who was juicing in that fight.
Right.
You can tell who was juicing. The Brazilian was way more muscular and bigger. Anyways, Kurt fought him.
What
ended up
was
that was 55.
Okay.
Yeah, UFC 88. That was in Atlanta. So that was Rashad Evans. I think he fought Chuck Liddell.
Oh,
I think he knocked out Chuck Liddell in that fight. But my coach fought that, and dude, one of my all-time favorite fights.
Really?
All time. One of my all-time favorite fights. You talk about just it's back and forth, but I mean, Kurt put a beating on that guy, and he was an up-and-coming guy. And I think Kurt was coming off a loss or something too, man. So it was a very make-or-break win for him. So if you guys get a chance, watch Kurt Pellegrino versus Hanato, and that's with an R because Brazilians, yeah, the R is pronounced with an H. So for all you people that always want to say Royce Gracie, like, what? It's not a Rolls Royce, man. He's not like that.
Imagine how they say Rolls Royce. Holes. Yeah.
And dude, what's so funny is the Gracies have a Holes, ROLLS. They have a Holes Gracie.
Really?
Yep. The Holes Gracie, like the original Holes Gracie, was like they said he was like the best Gracie ever, but he died in a hang gliding accident.
Oh shit!
I think in the 70s or 80s, he died in a hang gliding accident.
Damn.
Yeah.
I like to piss people off whenever they like.
They say he was better than Hickson.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you say Hickson's the best?
Hickson's best. Yeah. Hickson's the man. And he's got Parkinson's, dude.
There's so many of them, dude. It's hard to keep up, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously everybody knows who's.
As long as you're not Henner.
Like
Henner with the freaking.
You do not like Henner.
Oh, man. No, I don't.
I mean, he's definitely. The guy's got to have the most money.
He's probably a nice guy.
Yeah, right.
I probably would like him.
He's a salesman.
He's definitely a salesman.
For sure. That dude is a businessman.
Businessman, dude.
And he's turned
I'm a business man.
Yeah, right. But he's just taking the whole Gracie brand.
Yeah, and then like, have you seen the airplane thing?
Gadgets? Oh, the sleeper hold?
The sleeper hold.
Next time I ride with Austin in the car, I'm fucking taking one of those so I don't end up with whiplash, dude. But yeah, the Gracie family. I mean, it's more so a brand. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yes, it is, man. And like Hoist actually started his own black belt.
Really?
Yes, dude, with a blue bar. It's a self-defense black belt.
So how do you acquire one of those?
You got to be a Gracie person.
Oh, okay. But like, do you have to be a black belt before getting the self-defense black belt?
Because
I figured the black belt was already
freaking clue, man. Like, yeah, right. Like, black belt is
because a lot of Gracie stuff. Well, they're trying to. It's standing up and taking it to the ground.
Yes, and trying to get in tight in order to get you to the ground, and defending from rear attacks, defending like a lot of stuff. So when I first started, I was a blue belt, or I got my blue belt, and then I moved to South Carolina, and I couldn't find a gym to go to. Right, so I was reaching out to a lot of different people on the MMA forums when that was a thing. Trying to find a place to go, and they sent me to this guy named Jack Walker, which was at the time he was a brown belt under Pedro Valente out in Gracie, Miami.
Okay.
Yep. And so I trained Gracie Jiu-Jitsu for about a year, maybe less than that, and it was interesting, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jack was a cool dude. He'd let us compete or whatever. But a lot of those in that Valente Jiu-Jitsu, they talk about not competing because it's not self-defense, and they don't want their people at their academy to compete, which is fucking crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would think that competing can only make you better.
It only makes you better. Yeah. Like competition.
I get it's not everybody's forte.
It's not. But you definitely should compete. To
discourage your students from wanting to compete at all is a little crazy to me.
So that guy I was on the phone with, so I was just on a phone with a guy with old co-worker of mine, actually. So when I was stationed at Shaw Air Force Base.
I heard you guys talking about the military stuff.
Yeah, I was stationed at Shaw Air Force Base in Sumter, South Carolina from 2007 to 2010, 11 time frame. 2007 to 2010 or 11, somewhere around there. And he was one of my bosses, that guy that I was just talking to. And people used to rag me for training. You know, I was a blue belt back then too. Now that guy's a blue belt, and he was wanting to know about competition anxiety and stress and how to deal with all that, the adrenaline and different things like that. So obviously I told him about our podcast and to go back and, you know, listen to some of those things about, you know, mental stuff. And I was telling him about Wim Hof method, about the breath work, about focus on your breath, give him a couple books to read, to check out, you know, those. So to kind of help with that and just talking with him. But it's so crazy. He's like, you know, he's 49 years old and about to do his first competition. And I told him, I'm like, dude, it's just going to make you a better person. You know what I'm saying? I said, fighting another human being is the ultimate way to feel alive.
Yeah.
I mean, feeling the adrenaline, feeling you grappling against another human being that wants to beat you. You know, that's like a ultimate way.
And the good thing about competition, especially like grappling, like he can go against guys that are his age. You know, you don't have to go against the 18-year-olds and the 20 and 30-year-olds.
It's very highly unlikely that
he's going to have to go down, right? But chances are he's not going to have to go down.
I think he's doing AGF.
What is that?
American Grappling Federation. And they're pretty AGF. You've seen it before, I'm sure, but it's they should be a pretty good. First he told me AJP, and I was like, oh, well, that's a really good promotion for grappling, but I think it's AGF. So he should have people his age in there. Yeah. And so I'm like, dude, that will tell you where you stand. You know, he's been a blue belt for a couple of years now. You know,
he's probably a very solid blue belt.
Should be. Yeah. But he's like, dude, I've never been involved in competition ever. So he's like, I don't even know.
So depending on the gym
he's like, with anything, sports.
Easier roles than the people he's on the mats with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You never know, man. I mean, I have only competed once, and I only had one match in the gi because I signed up in my age, and there's only one other dude that signed up, and I was with the younger kids in no gi. But, you know, I don't want to shit on that guy or anything, and I'm not like crazy good or anything like that. But it was pretty easy compared to even the older guys in here. You know,
that's the way it can be sometimes.
Yeah. Especially if you're at a good school and you have good training partners, like. Yeah, I think. When did he say he's competing? It's coming up soon, I'm assuming.
May 18th, my birthday.
Okay, so you'll probably get a call soon after that. Like, man, had a great time, dude.
Yeah, I got to send him a lot of different things like that. But anyways, yeah, competition is wild, man. You know, it just makes you feel. You get to feel the adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
You know. Some people have never been in a fight before, so they don't even know what that adrenaline rush feels like when, you know. So I remember when I was a kid, you know, like the adrenaline rush I'd get when people would like be like, "Hey, we're fighting after school," you know, and you're like, "Fuck,"
yeah,
you know, like you'll be in class and that's all you're thinking about.
Get out of this.
Yeah, dude. Like even that. Yeah, like. I mean, I was a fighter even in high school and school. You know, I would fight. You know, I remember I got into a fight every single year at school until I was in 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And then
I was like the opposite.
I want to say, all the 7th grade. I think I took a break in 8th and 9th grade, got in a fight in 10th grade. I guess a senior took a break. Yeah, took a break. And then I fought a senior in high school twice. Man, this kid, I fought him in school, And they made me come. It was the last day of school. I got into a fight with him in the hallway, and teacher broke us up. He was good to go. He was a senior. It was his last day of school. Like he's not. What you gonna do to him? Yeah. And I didn't think they could do anything to me. 3 days extra.
That's crazy, dude.
Crazy.
Nowadays they don't
came to school.
Don't care.
Came to school for 3 days, and I had to like clean up the school and stuff because all the kids were gone.
Yeah.
So I had to help out like the maintenance guy, clean out lockers.
He probably gave you all the grimy shit too.
No, dude was cool, man.
Oh, was he?
Like, yeah, he was like, just leave.
Oh.
Yeah, like halfway through, he's like, I don't need you no more. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, later.
Peace. But yeah, man, it's wild, dude.
So we talked about like the Sean O'Malley fight. Other good fights on the card. MVP Kevin Holland, good fight.
I didn't see MVP winning that fight.
That one was a hard one.
I didn't think he was going to win.
I didn't pick. So I have like the UFC game, and like so I got on there and I was playing it the other day to get my ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
But they have this thing where you can predict the fights, and so I picked Kevin Holland to win.
Yeah.
And I predicted it to be fight of the night. Neither of those things happened, but I mean, listen, Kevin Holland has knockout power. We've seen MVP get knocked out by Lima. I don't know which one it was.
Douglas
Lima.
Yeah.
And it was like, MVP's
Wait,
got his hands down.
He's not. Yeah, they're not the same weight class. I mean, Douglas Lima's in Bellator, but they're not in the same weight class.
No, well, they fought.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whoever the Lima was in Bellator, they fought, and it was for a belt, and Douglas beat him.
Because what is he, 55 or 70?
Douglas must have been 70.
Yeah, Douglas Lima's 70.
Yeah, well, that's what MVP is. Yeah,
dude, he looks so skinny, man. I don't even think.
Well, he's also like 6'4", dude.
Yeah, that's true.
6'4", 170. Like that's a skinny guy.
Point kickboxer.
Great point kickboxer. Actually, him and I think him and Holland may have. No,
I always thought he was a 55er back in Bellator.
Oh no, dude! If you're 6'4", 155 pounds, is that even possible?
Yeah, dude. There's a dude. He's dead now.
Well,
but there was a guy, I can't remember his freaking name, that was on the Ultimate Fighter too.
He must have been a pencil stick.
Dude, he was tall and lanky, man.
Wait, was
he broke his shin bone?
Was he on the season with Nate Diaz?
I can't remember.
Because there was, but I think that they did two.
I have to find that, but yeah, dude, I saw one of his fights. He kicked somebody, broke his shin bone.
Broke his shin bone.
Broke his shin bone.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Be so
lanky
tall and
motherfucker,
so lanky.
dude.
Yeah. But Douglas Lima beat him, hit him with a calf kick.
Yeah.
And then whenever he went down, he
Boom.
caught him with an uppercut and just knocked him right out.
Yeah. Lima's
almost
got power,
happened to him
bro.
with Kevin Holland.
Lima's got power. I almost fought Douglas Lima a long time ago before
Really?
he was into anything.
You wish you would have?
No. I'm glad I did, man.
Just to be like, oh, yeah.
I was like, I want to say I was 5-1 or 5-2 at the time. And I want to say Douglas was 14-2.
Damn, why the fuck would they try to put you guys together?
Oh, it was Georgia.
Huh.
Like he's from Georgia
both
and Atlanta.
Good records, right? But damn, like 14-2 and 5-2,
yeah.
like that's crazy.
I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look. But it was
I think I would have taken that.
It was right before. So this was around the time in Atlanta they had this company called Sport Fight come up, and they were doing a thing. It's like a tournament, and winner gets $10,000. So this is how long ago it was. Winner gets only $10,000.
Right.
Well, now they're doing like
for regional scene. That's still pretty
regional
good.
Scene was awesome. Yeah.
Oh wait, but it's a
tournament. Yeah. So he'd get paid for a fight, and then at the end,
up to $10,000.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Is it like a how long? Like it's not like a one night.
Yeah. No, it was over a course of like I want to say there was 8 guys in it.
Yeah. So probably like
2 or 3 weeks, yeah. Or I mean 2 or 3 months, yeah. I mean,
Depending,
over
I
than
guess.
that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I think it was over the year or something like that. But anyways, they didn't last. That promotion didn't last long.
Oh,
Yeah, that promotion.
doesn't it seem like these promotions that do shit like that aren't like big time?
Like the fucking one that Jay-Z fought on, and
Yeah.
they said the
Oh,
winner gets $100,000. Dude, they didn't even want to pay him.
Right. Well, they had maybe 100 people attending. You know,
Man.
but and that,
When you go back
there were
and
some
watch that,
hometown dudes on that, like,
and
what
when you
happened? They didn't sell.
when
anything.
you go back and you watch that fight, you look in the stands and you're like, there was nobody.
Yeah, like y'all rented out an arena for this? An arena for this? That's crazy.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of one of
Couldn't imagine how much it costs for rent that arena.
oh, dude, that guy is probably still paying that off to this day.
Yeah.
But in any case, back to 299.
Yeah.
So that was a great fight. MVP and Kevin Holland, man. MVP won decision.
Yeah. Super stoked for Poirier.
Yeah. That was cool. And you know, I didn't know who Benoit Saint Denis was before this. But now, like, you know, obviously after
Bloody
the fight,
Frenchman.
Joe asked, you know, Poirier why he took it. And it made a lot of sense, man. And it just goes to show you the type of guy that Poirier is. You know, Poirier, whether people like to admit it or not, Poirier is a part of an era that is getting ready to be done.
Yep.
You know, all those guys are getting older.
Yep.
And so he said that he wanted to give one of the up-and-comers a chance, you know, give him a shot. And they do that. The UFC likes to do that. We've seen them do it with they've done it with Dominic Cruz.
I mean, they've done it the whole time. Chuck Liddell and Rashad Evans.
Yes.
You know,
very good. Very
passing
good.
of the guard right there. I mean, Rashad knocked out Chuck, and Chuck was done.
Even when you look at BJ Penn and Ryan Hall, you know, they just do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it makes sense too. But usually when that happens, it's not the legend that's looking to fight down. You know, or
it's not the legend that's winning.
Well, most of the time it's not. Right?
Most of the time it's not, man. Most of the time it's like, oh, we got a passing of the guard.
Yeah.
And all this other changing of the guard, not passing of the guard. No. Changing of the guard, same. But
passing of the torch, changing of the guard.
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
Yeah. So I just don't I can't it's just awesome, man. I've trained with Dustin back in the day, and he was the man back in the day. And, you know, to see where he's come, you know, and he's made it to the highest spot. I mean, he's knocked out Conor McGregor. I mean, he's just done so many different things.
He's fought all of the greats in that division of this era, like, multiple times.
Yep. Tied for most UFC wins by knockout.
Yeah.
We were talking about this, Drew Dober. Of all people. And, wild.
It was great, man. Yeah. It's so super stoked for Dustin. Love that guy, man. Like,
I love him too, man.
Even
I
don't know him personally, but just what you gather.
He's just man. I used to have his number.
I know.
I had it in my phone, and now it's like I go to type in, and I had it like programmed too. For some reason, I guess when I updated my phone or something, it might have
back in the day
disappeared.
Like,
like
you could lose your numbers
because we would text about training together. You know, he was at Kurt's for a whole week, and you know, I was fortunately for me, dude. What helped me train with him so much was, and it's not fortunate for me, but it was fortunate for me. I had to work 12-hour shifts at night, and so what I was doing is I'd work at night. I'd get off. I'd drive to the gym, sleep on the mats, and then
just wake up and train,
and then wake up, train, and then go back home, sleep, and get ready for my night shift. Yeah. And I was getting ready for a Bellator fight, man.
What a sick contact that would have been.
I know, man.
Damn, DK.
I could probably hit him up on Instagram. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe we can get him on here.
Dude, he might not. If he doesn't follow you, your message is never getting
I'm
seen. I'm
pretty sure he follows me too, man.
Really?
Yeah, I want to say he does.
Damn, well,
maybe
then, hey, you're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah, so you're saying there's a chance. Yeah. Because, I mean, before he had 1 million followers, I think that's probably what he's got now.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's got a couple million.
But, Yeah, he used to respond to me on Instagram and everything, man.
Nice.
So maybe I can. And also, Francis goes down to ATT now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Francis
Marshall?
Yeah, Francis Marshall, who we had
Coconut
on
Creek?
here. Huh?
He goes down to the one at Coconut Creek?
Yep. Goes to ATT to get ready for his fight. He's trying to fight in Jersey in I think June.
Well, they have an Atlantic City card coming up. Like
Yeah,
the end
but
of
I
this
want
month
to
or
say they're
some shit.
coming back in June or something like that.
Cool.
So
Francis Marshall, by the way, we had him on the pod here a couple months back, so you can go watch that episode. He's a cool dude.
Contender Series, won on the Contender Series, then won his first UFC fight by spectacular fashion, knockout, and then I think he's lost his last two. Yeah,
I don't think he's fought since we've had him on.
no.
I think he fought just before that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He switched management teams too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Another fight that was on the card that was an interesting fight was Song Yadong and
Song
Peter
Yadong.
Yan.
Yep.
Good fight. Peter won, but it was a good fight. I didn't know that Song was an alpha male guy. Obviously you had Uriah Faber and all those guys in his corner. Dude looked like at the weigh-ins in the press conference, he looked like some sort of like Tekken character, man. Like that guy, I didn't even recognize him. Blonde hair now and all kind of shit.
Yeah.
Song Yadong's been been around for a minute too. Just one of those guys who never quite got to that. Maybe back in his home country, of China.
Yeah.
He's a star, but
Yeah,
quite
it's
yet.
so hard to kind of break the barrier, right? Especially,
is.
Coming from overseas. Nobody
Mhm.
really knows you really. And you look Asian too, so Asians in America they're not a big fan favorite for the most part. Like Chinese,
especially like
Yeah.
that, and that's just the way it is. When it comes to China, it's a touchy subject for America.
for
let's be
sure.
honest, right?
for sure it is, man.
So
Everybody's in the crowd, USA,
yeah,
US,
And
So
when you come from China, there's not a whole lot of fans that are coming out to the UFC fights that are Chinese.
Yes,
I mean, obviously there are some, and that's great, but
yeah,
there's just not. It's going to be overwhelming for the American guy.
yeah.
But that was a great fight, and then obviously, the main event, which we've talked about some, with
Yeah.
Sugar.
I mean, I was just impressed by him just picking him apart, man.
Yeah.
Like the way his striking is so smooth, man.
It's the next level.
Yeah.
And it's not only is it the striking, but
And
it's
he's
like
long,
the
too.
footwork, dude. His
Yeah.
footwork
Yep.
is fucking
That's what
tough.
so many people like don't think about is your footwork, man.
Yeah.
And it's like you get your footwork from doing the ladder drills, being able to pick your foot up, and like people don't understand, like ladder drills isn't about, it's about doing the correct movement, but it's about picking up and putting your foot down as fast as possible
Yeah.
in like where you need it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So ladder drills and doing different ladder drill work is good for like moving your feet in different ways and keeping that balance and coordination with your feet too. I used to do ladder drills all the time, and I need to start back doing them because the older I get, you need to keep that connection going.
Oh yeah.
And that's where a lot of old people kind of fail, is they don't keep that connection going, man. And so like walk,
lose it.
yeah, it is true. If you don't use it, you lose it, man. Like if a lot of older people, they sit down and they watch TV all day long after they're retired,
Yeah.
right? They're just going to sit in front of the TV.
And even long before then.
Even long before
Yeah.
then. Yeah, they get
Get home
like
from
my
work and
mom.
that's all they do.
My mom, for instance, she's been working in an office for as long as I can remember, sitting in a chair. And she was talking about her hips, how bad they were. And so I was like, dude, you're sitting in this, your body's compressed like this. So when you go to straighten your body out, you're like, it's like all those muscles just want to go back to where they've been sitting for 8 hours, 5 days a week for fucking 30 years. My mom's 71 years old, man, So just keeping good footwork, but is very crucial for older people. But it's like for Sugar, man, golly, dude. Like, I like the way and I think he does something with his hands too to create. He's either hitting a double end bag a lot.
A double end bag.
A double end bag. So you get, we have our reflex bag right there, that just goes this way, double end bag has a elastic to the floor and to the ceiling.
Yeah.
So it moves all kinds of different directions, and being able to boom, hit it square every time. So where, that's what it seems like he does. He practices on a double end bag a lot.
I mean, he's got great, obviously his hands.
Being able to
his feet,
boom, hit
footwork,
things.
Feints. Like, dude, Cheeto was biting on every feint. It got to the point where every feint he threw, Cheeto would cover up. Well, just about everyone.
You got to get those feints going, man, because, you get your feints going, and then that sets up.
What's that one feint that he knocked out Eddie Wineland with where
he looked back?
He faked a jab, a cross, and then came up with the uppercut.
Oh,
he just faked him, and then it was...
Yeah,
try doing that shit in the mirror, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
sure he does.
I'm
sure he practices in the mirror a lot. Yeah,
and then obviously he's so long and lanky. Like whenever he, throws it straight, he has that knockout power because of how he throws it. That was one thing Nick was talking about one time.
Puts his hip into it, like Conor McGregor and Ito Porier.
Elia.
You
said Ito.
Dude,
Porier, man, that guy is just fucking. He's weird.
Good,
he's just so compact.
Yeah.
And God.
And then O'Malley's calling him out, and I'm like.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I said now, and I'm a huge O'Malley fan, right? Like,
yeah.
There's only two people that I've ever seen in like their first fights in the UFC. For him, it was the Contender Series, where I was like, all right, that person's going to be a champ one day. And that was O'Malley and obviously Israel Adesanya. From the very beginning, I knew he would be.
Yeah.
But him calling out Elia to me, and again, I'm a huge O'Malley fan. I told you this, I think it's kind of like a cop-out in a way because you're going up in weight, your belt is no longer on the line, and if you do get waxed, it's a built-in excuse.
Yeah.
You go up in a weight to a dude that's just knocking everybody out. Now, do I think O'Malley can win that fight? Yeah, I do.
But I think he's better than Merab.
Elia?
No.
You think Sean
O'Malley.
Is? Well, I mean, Merab has been right. Like, listen, his last fight was a great fight, but he did get rocked by Henry Cejudo, and he did get rocked by, almost got knocked out by somebody else. I can't remember who it is. The only way Merab beats O'Malley, he has to get inside.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
He has to get him down or just get inside.
Yeah.
And O'Malley's very good at
defending.
not letting that happen. But even when Cheeto put the pressure on O'Malley this past weekend and got inside, he had some success.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get O'Malley on the back foot.
Yeah, because he's long.
Yeah.
And
if you get him up against
get him back
or something,
backed up, because he wants to be in charge.
Yep.
He's comfortable being in charge, and that's where the footwork and the movement is going to come in, and the feints come in. It makes you like, oh shit, I can't.
Makes you second guess it, and it makes it very hard to get close.
Yeah.
So that's O'Malley's game,
Yeah.
and I mean, fuck, dude, it's been working for him. But I do, as much as I like O'Malley, dude, I think Topuria beats him.
Me too, 100%.
I think
all day.
Topuria beats him
all day,
and I think that O'Malley, and I think Dana probably thinks this too, kind of just stay in your weight class for now. Maybe beat Merab or Corey Sandhagen. Both of those fights, great for O'Malley, especially Corey. I'd be more excited to see Corey and O'Malley than O'Malley and Merab.
It's a money fight too. You know what I'm saying? That's a money fight, and it's just
right now though.
Especially you go in Spain. Man.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, let's be honest. O'Malley's probably already making, especially now that he's making $1 million a fight.
Yeah,
especially with pay-per.
If he's getting pay-per-view.
Well, he did get points for this past one, and it's the 4th highest selling UFC event ever. So that dude's probably gonna walk away from that fight after sponsorships, whatever. Probably like
couple mil.
Yeah.
Well, taxes gonna get him nicely.
Yeah, but he'll walk away with $1 million.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
If he makes $2 million, then he'll probably walk away with like 1.1 or 1.2 or some shit.
So
after
crazy to
taxes,
see where he's come from.
It is, man. It is. It's, dude, just a crazy ride. And I've always been, kind of like, whenever the eras have changed in the UFC before, and we saw the end of the Chuck Liddells, the GSPs, and things like that.
Yeah.
It's like, man, this kind of sucks. I don't know any of these guys, but I'm kind of excited for the next one.
Yeah,
This last era has been a good run.
It has, but you're starting to see the evolution of fighting now, man.
And you saw it with this era that we're coming out of.
Gosh,
it's so much more evolved.
Well,
than
these
the
kids
one
are
before.
training so young
And
now,
they're training
man.
everything.
Yeah, they've been training for 15 years.
Yep.
By the time they've been they're in the UFC.
They're fucking 25 and they're 10 pro fights deep.
Yeah. Yeah, we just had a kid, 17 years old. He just didn't move here, but he was dropping in from Wisconsin. I'm like, oh, how long have you been training? He's like 6 years. Blue belt. They trained for 6 years. 17, so he started training when he was 11 years old.
It's crazy.
Crazy, man.
And dude, the next era is just going to be even. I mean, it will continue to evolve and get better and better and better. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited, dude. It's a good time, dude. It's a good time to be a fan. And I'm stoked. Now, I don't think 300, in my opinion, is going to be a better card than 299, but I'm still here for it. They're going to be in the Sphere later on this year. That's going to be sick. I would love to go to that.
That would be freaking intense.
It's going to be in Vegas too.
I wonder what tickets for that's going to be. Because they can't seat as many people in the Sphere.
Right, and the seating's different too. Yeah. Like it doesn't. I don't think it goes all the way around.
It doesn't.
So that's going to be a challenge. But I mean, dude, they'll pull it off.
But dude, if they have you're inside and
the whole thing's like an LED screen. So what are they going to make that?
I know.
You know what I mean?
Like, it's gonna be,
that'd be sick. But I think they're doing that on Mexican Independence Day, so it's probably going to be a lot of Mexican fighters, which isn't a bad thing. But it probably means that you're not going to see people like, they're not going to put a Conor there or even a Sean O'Malley, But in any case, still going to be dope, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the hell out of here, man. You want to take us out?
Yeah, man. So appreciate you guys for locking in with us. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. We appreciate it so much. We're growing slowly. We're approaching 600 subscribers, and
might be there already. I'm not sure.
I mean, last time I checked, it was like a couple weeks ago. So I appreciate you guys, each and every one of you. It's amazing to kind of see, and man, let's just keep on keeping on.
Yeah, and soon we're still working on getting like some merch made.
Yep.
And whenever we do get that stuff made, I'll get some extras, and I'll see if I can set it up online somehow. So if you want to support, you could just buy a hat or a shirt or something. There's not going to be crazy priced. I'm not really one to kind of do that shit. It's not like a money grab. Basically just kind of make our money back. Really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll have that soon. Hopefully, we're working on that, and. Yeah, just appreciate you guys locking in with us. Go check out the last Embedded we did on Austin and our trip in Atlantic City. A lot of cool shit on there. And till next time.
Out.